The Nikola Badger is unlike any truck in existence. It was designed to be a supercar, but yet a work truck. A truck that could go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. A truck that could power your entire home. The most advanced electric pickup truck the world has ever seen.
It's the coolest electric pickup truck the world's ever seen.
Coolest electric pickup truck the world has ever seen, except for the world hasn't actually seen it because it hasn't actually been made yet. Minor detail.
In the case of Nikola, the bear case was overwhelming.
We don't think they will succeed, but we don't think they've got the right DNA to begin with.
When your money's making money, you can spend your money and keep it too.
Hi, I'm JC. Welcome to my channel. We've got a lot to get to today. So if you want to hear about the stocks of great companies and investing techniques and strategies, please hit the like, sub, and subscribe button so you don't miss any of my content. Today, we're talking about Nikola again. I have been following Trevor Milton's exploits, and the strategy Trevor Milton has for Nikola can be summed up in one word: propaganda. Information of a biased or misleading nature used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. The way propaganda works in a nutshell is you just have to flood the media with your particular point of view. If one person says something, people will believe or disbelieve based on what they know about that person. But if 5 different people from different places say something, then it starts to get credibility. And when you have 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 people from different places saying the same thing, now it's looked at as a fact. The repetition of information has created such a solid foundation in people's mind that it takes a lot to change it. He who shouts the loudest and the most often wins the race. Or as Mark Twain said, a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. In the short term, a lie is more powerful than the truth. The truth has to be supported by facts and figures, where all a lie needs is the ability to look sincere. Using propaganda to your advantage is simple. When people accuse you of something, all you have to do is claim they're the ones that are lying very loudly and openly, that you are going to dispute every single charge and make them look like idiots, and then never get around to it. The media will go on to other things, and it is easier than you might think, because we live in an era where it's not enough to catch somebody in a lie. You have to be able to prove that they were lying knowingly beyond a shadow of a doubt. For example, let's briefly revisit the Hindenburg debacle.
Hindenburg claims that Nikola's CEO, Trevor Milton, has a history of lying to investors and business partners. They claim he's lying about Nikola having the ability to produce hydrogen, about having solar panels on their headquarters, about owning natural gas wells. I've got to tell you, if Hindenburg's research is lying, some of this stuff should be very easy to dispute. After the report came out yesterday, the CEO kept going on Instagram and Twitter promising that he was working on a point-by-point rebuttal. Then this morning, Nikola publishes a one-page press release with no exculpatory information whatsoever. They just said they're going to sue Hindenburg Research.
That's right. They just said they were going to sue Hindenburg Research. All you have to do is accuse the accusers of being liars, and now it's tied up in courts, and the truth tellers have to actually be the ones on the defense. Most of the time, the truth does come out. However, the goal is to delay the truth from coming out for as long as possible. Because the longer it takes for the truth to come out, the smaller and smaller the consequences are. When people hear something for long enough, they tend to believe that it's true or that it has some truth to it. Even if he's caught in a lie, nobody will really be really sure if he really lied. Because, hey, everybody's been talking about it for so long. Propaganda is a dangerous weapon. And once the stuff starts to hit the fan, everybody looks guilty. So all of a sudden, you have tons of big, huge allies who want to make sure they don't look guilty. And the only way they can do that is by clearing your name, such as Bosch or General Motors. I am very sure that Mary Barra is very sorry she ever answered Trevor Milton's phone call.
I thought Hindenburg flashed enough red flags that you had to question everything, including whether the investors and partners like GM, even like Bosch, had really, up at Value Act, had really done their due diligence before getting into bed with someone like Trevor Milton. Did they know Nikola didn't own much intellectual property? Did they realize the company's hydrogen technology might not be all it's cracked up to be? Do they still think it is? For example, did Mary Barra, the CEO of GM, who stood by Nikola throughout this whole ordeal, already know about the bogus truck video, or did it take her by surprise? Come on, Mary.
So in case you haven't seen it, perhaps you've heard that Nikola got caught having their Nikola 1 semi-truck rolling down a hill and pretending that it was driving in a commercial. Turns out this is true. They admitted to this. Truck could only drive downhill by gravity.
Maybe this deal was worth it to GM simply for the electric vehicle credits and to boost their percentage of all energy vehicles, but it sure doesn't look good to me. Now, I'm not saying that shorts like Hindenburg are always right. In the case of Nikola, the bear case was overwhelming. Oh, and even though the stock bounced today on the Milton resignation, I don't like it.
Next, I'd like to show a blatant form of propaganda where Trevor Milton promotes a vehicle that doesn't even exist. I went to the Nikola YouTube homepage and I scrolled through their site, and at first it looks like you have a lot of good things here, a lot of interesting content. But under closer scrutiny, it's propaganda. I open up a video.
What's up, world? Did you know that the
first thing I notice is they have comments turned off. You cannot put negative content on Nikola's channel. They don't allow that. You might be thinking, hey, what's the big deal? There's no way that Nikola could stop all the negativity from being on YouTube because there's so many people out there making videos like myself. But here's the thing. We are such a small fraction of the whole media in total that we almost don't matter. You see the stock going higher and higher even though there's so much negative press. But the problem is we aren't CNN, we aren't CNBC. Those are the ones that move numbers. And they keep talking about, hey, Nikola's being sued for this, but who knows what's really true. And until some of those stories play out, it's not going to really affect the stock price, which gives you buying or selling opportunities. Right now with Nikola, I see a selling opportunity. This video I have pulled up now is a commercial for Nikola's Badger pickup truck. And to me, it's hilarious because you've got Trevor Milton and Heavy D raving about how great this pickup truck. They're talking about specs, incredible things the truck can do. And at this point, this truck is CGI. It's basically Photoshop. And you're going to see the same exact pictures they always show because there's no other pictures available because the truck does not exist yet. But let me just say that the features and specs that they talk about in this video, I think are incredibly optimistic. Before I play the video, I would like to add that I really hope that everything in this video becomes true. I would love Nikola to do great. I don't see it happening, but boy, do I want to be proven wrong.
This is truly a different animal.
That animal is the Nikola Badger.
They go on, man, for 13 minutes.
Take, for example, how do you sit in a truck? What materials do you want? Where are you going to put your phone? Is the area for your phone too big or too small? All these are things that customers want to have, is they have these track mounting systems inside that allow you to mount cargo, seats, or whatever else you want, including accessories. The Nikola Badger is unlike any truck in existence. It was designed to be a supercar, but yet a work truck. A truck that could go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. A truck that could power your entire home. The most advanced electric pickup truck the world has ever seen. We wanted something that the masses would get behind, that everyone would love. No matter who you are, what lifestyle you live, the Nikola Badger is truly for you.
Transportation is changing forever. Trucks are never going to be the same.
Badger comes in 2 different options, both fully loaded. One is the battery electric version that starts at about 60, and the other one's the hydrogen fuel cell version, which starts at about 90.
It's impressive. It is. I don't know what else to say. The Nikola Badger is a whole new animal in a league of its own.
It really is. That's why we named it after the animal, the badger, the most fierce animal in the animal kingdom.
This means you no longer have to go to the factory wiring harness or cut a hole in your dash and put a switch in there. You've got a button already pre-programmed on your big touch screen. Bam. You want to make it a coffee maker? Make it a coffee maker. We don't care. We've designed this so that you can make it fit you. Let me recap. This truck is fast. This truck is powerful. This truck is sexy, and
this truck does not exist. Wait. This truck does exist in December.
I hope, maybe. Did I say that out loud?
In December of this year, we're going to give you a chance to see the Nikola Badger in person.
December 3rd, 4th, and 5th is when Nikola World goes down.
Coincidentally, Nikola World is happening at the same exact time. The lockup is expiring for most all of the early investors, which means that these early shareholders, which have paid probably $10 a share, are finally going to get the chance to sell out of their shares and make a profit. Let's take a look. So I'm going to link this article down below in the description. Nikola races to convince investors of value before share lockup ends. Many super early investors got their shares for $10 a share. The caveat being they had to hold the shares, and they're going to be able to finally sell their shares. And it's going to take place right here. On November 30th, the lockup from its June listing ends, and those shareholders from staff with stock to industrial backers such as Bosch and C&H Industrial can begin selling their shares. Woohoo! We can finally get out of this turkey! Wow! Problem is, it is a turkey, and the stock might actually be worth less than it is when they paid for it. Hence, Nikola World. December 3rd, 4th, and 5th, we're going to have a Badger. We're going to show it to the world, and it's going to be great. Wow! And the excitement of the upcoming Badger truck is going to lift the stock price up. So even if the Badger is a complete disappointment on December 3rd, 4th, and 5th, Nikola World would have done its job because of the anticipation for the upcoming Badger will push the stock price up just before the lockup expires on November 30th, allowing partners, early investors, and staff to sell their shares. Also, on December 3rd, GM and Nikola will be allowed to walk away without penalty. If they do decide to walk away from their deal, I'm sure that Trevor Milton will figure out a positive way to frame the event on the first day of Nikola World. Another time Trevor Milton used propaganda is when he challenged Cathy Wood to a debate. Here's what happened. Cathy Wood was being interviewed on CNBC, and she was asked about Nikola. Personally, I think Cathy Wood was very harsh but fair. But it really got under the skin of Trevor Milton because the next day he came down on her. He called her an idiot. He said she didn't know shit, and he challenged her to a debate. Cathy Wood agreed to the debate immediately. When you're watching the clips I'm about to show, keep in mind propaganda. The strategy is somebody accuses you, the first thing you have to do is you have to accuse them so harshly that your accusation makes bigger news than theirs. And then you come down on them really hard, really loudly. You could demand a debate. You also make sure the debate never really happens. Half the people will remember that you asked for a debate. Half the people will remember something about there might have been a debate. But almost nobody will ever accuse you of lying that you never wanted a debate. Because as time goes by, people just remember what people say about what people say.
You get these people that just totally attack you without any information. They're completely oblivious, and they're only doing it to short your stock and make their stock go up. A good example is this lady named Cathy Wood from ARK Investment. Did a total hit job on us with completely false and fraudulent data. I'm like, listen, she knows that's not true. And we tried to refute it and essentially rebuttal, but they won't even answer. So I called her out on Twitter. I'm like, you know what?
They can get that cost of the hydrogen down. That's just money that they capture.
Yeah, if they're able to do that. We don't think they will be able to do that, but let's just take the assumptions that they made in preparing for the IPO.
Let's do this. Let's go out in front of the world, live view.
The biggest difference is the right technology. An electric vehicle cost decline would look like versus a hydrogen. And as we were doing that research, we realized the infrastructure alone for hydrogen fueling stations is going to be 5 to 10 times as expensive as the infrastructure for electric.
No editing, live, one-on-one, and watch this lady run. She doesn't know shit. And I love this because this is the difference between someone who actually knows what they're doing.
The biggest difference is the right technology. An electric vehicle cost decline would look like versus hydrogen. And as we were doing that research, we realized the infrastructure alone for hydrogen fueling stations is going to be 5 to 10 times as expensive as the infrastructure for electric.
And some person running a fund that doesn't know shit.
And then from the consumer's point of view, it is going to cost roughly 3 times as much. So this is a 700,000 mile truck. If you tally up the cost to the trucker for the hydrogen, it will be 3 times as much as the cost would be for electricity.
So it's gonna be a lot of fun. This is why you love Nikola, because we don't put up with anything. Like if someone wants to come out and attack us, I'm gonna put you on the national level in front of everyone to see who you really are. And after that, I hope they have no more investors in their fund ever, because she has no clue. She has no clue what she's doing. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Check this out.
This management team has come from the old world. Those are mature industries. We're talking about exponential growth here.
Conversation I just put out for her, calling her out, and hopefully she accepts, because I'd have a blast. I mean, I know this shit really good. I've been doing this for 7 years, and I don't know anyone I've ever met in my life that actually knows as much as I do about my business model. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun calling this lady out in front of the whole world and watching her reaction where she can't edit.
We don't think they will succeed, but we don't think they've got the right DNA to begin with.
I don't think Trevor ever intended to have this debate. He's not stupid. Debating Cathy Wood would be like debating Einstein about science. I want to show some potential good news from Nikola Motors, because Trevor Milton has finally gotten a semi-truck running.
You were to lose control, all 4 of those wheels can turn independently at different speeds and different directions, helping stabilize your truck out of a jackknife. We don't even go into 5% of what we're doing here at Nikola, because every competitor out there wants to copy everything we're doing.
Everybody's trying to steal your technology. What are they trying to steal? Keep making these grand statements of changing the world with this tech that's far better, and you have the best pickup truck that's ever been made, and everything is always the best that's ever been made. Show me a piece of tech just one time, like how it works, and show me an intellectual property that you actually own, rather than talking about how great it is and when it's coming.
This is Instagram Live right now. People wondering how real the truck is. So here we are. We're getting ready to go. We're going right now. These damn trolls. I wonder if they're going to go apologize to everyone for the lies they spread. The tens of thousands of comments of how fake we are.
I have never seen another company which had to constantly try to prove that their products were real.
I'm just wondering, are they going to go apologize and be like, listen, I'm a piece of garbage. I lied to everyone. It's fine. Whatever. We're having fun. We'll beat them anyways, just out of positiveness. I told my team, make sure that thing stays on the whole time. I don't care. And get that, I don't want anyone to question whether or not that fuel cell is on. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoy. Now, anyone who ever says that we're full of shit or not real or whatever, send them that video. Just because we don't talk about it and rub it in everyone's faces doesn't mean our products aren't real.
Trevor seems to feel very vindicated and justified simply because he has a vehicle that works.
We have a lot coming out. The Badger uses that exact same technology that's in that truck right there. That's $1 billion program. We have the most advanced fuel cell and truck in the planet. Look at that thing. And that's what the technology is that's going in the Badger. This is why I always laugh when people say the Badger's fake.
So while I was editing this video, I was watching YouTube. Nukem Finance comes on and he starts talking about how the Badger truck is canceled. Maybe. So the way it turns out is that after all the Hindenburg stuff went down, Trevor Milton and Nikola, they had to make a new business plan and outline all the stuff they plan to do into the future. And stock went up after that, actually, because people were like, awesome, they actually finally have a plan that we can see it. Oddly enough, not many people noticed the Badger is not on the business plan. So is the Badger canceled? Well, I don't know. It's still on their website as a product that you can order. And as far as I know, they are not returning any money. So it's an unknown future for the Badger. Thank you to Nukem Finance. I'm going to put his link in my video. Tell him I said hi. So in this video, I've tried to highlight patterns of behavior so that you guys and gals out there can recognize propaganda when you see it. Not only in Nikola, but in other companies, because it's everywhere. Propaganda is a strategy that works. The only way to fight it is to learn how to recognize it. Knowledge equals power. The thing about propaganda is that it always shows up right when you should be smashing that like button. Come on, click that white thumb and turn it blue. You know, every little like and subscription really helps my channel to grow. If you watched my video all the way to this point, you really should be subscribed. I mean, come on, what are you waiting for? Final thoughts, come on, leave me some comments down there. Do you guys think that Nikola is going to release a fantastic Badger truck at Nikola World in December? Or do you think the vehicle's going to be kind of, Do you think the vehicle is going to still be the best CGI vehicle not on the road? Is there even going to be a Nikola World? I read all your comments. Please feel free to leave suggestions for future videos and other comments off topic from this particular video. I love every comment. I've had a request to bring the hat back, so please do not buy or sell any stock just because a YouTuber like me says so. Do your own due diligence, your own research, crack those books, and make up your own mind. It's your money after all. Who else is better to watch after your money than you? Thank you for coming by, and thank you for lasting all the way to the end of this video. Until we see each other again, keep in mind, no matter where you go, when your money is making money, you can spend your money and keep it too.